Hello students, how are you? So in the last session we were talking about many important concepts related to our social studies, right? Social studies 10th standard. Today's session what we are going to talk about is very important, not only for your examination but in our everyday life to make an effective and very productive decisions in our lives. Okay, so what is that? It is all about using your right. What is that? Right to vote. Okay, so we are talking about that is important, which is called as election system of India. The entire election process in India, the universal adult franchise, the basic voting right to each and every citizen who has crossed 18 years of age in India. That is what we are going to discuss, which is very important, very interesting and very useful for us in our everyday lives, right? So this is Classroom TV. In case you missed out any of the previous lectures or social studies in general or any other subject, exams are nearing, you please take our support. Go to this website, you will find everything related to your examination, your study, in general everything. Okay, so we will go and start our lecture for today, right? See, this is the election process in India. 10th class, very important. We will try to finish off as soon as possible. After that, you also go through the website. There you will find the material and you can also download. You can also study for your examination, right? This is what. So, this is what you know already. Okay. In general, these are some of the pictures related to our election system. Some of the pictures related to our election system. Vote in India. If you don't vote, you lose the right and all these things, right? And you have so many people who are campaigning. Even celebrities are coming into the media and they're asking us to vote. Use your vote. Vote is very valuable. If you don't vote, you cannot ask your rights as a basic citizen. You will not be entitled to any benefits and you don't have basic responsibility. All such things people are trying to bring this awareness to people of India who has voting right. They all should vote and nobody should abstain from voting. And you know, recently in India, voting percentage is happening around in few areas it is only 40-50%. 50% of the people, they are not coming to election booth to cast their vote. So to encourage people to come out of their homes and cast their vote, celebrities or government of India, everybody, the civil society, so many people are coming and encouraging Indians to vote. Come forward and vote. Use your basic right. Okay. This is what is all about voting. And you know, so many parties are there. You have Congress party, you have BJP, you have CPI, you have Delhi's party, Aam Aadmi party, and so many parties are there. All these are political system, politics, which you will understand after 2 or 3 years of time. You might be just 15-16 years of age at this point of time. After 2 or 3 years, you will understand all this political system. But right now, before going to vote, you people, you will learn so many things related to what is this voting system and how it is all operated in India, right? See here, see election. First of all, we will talk about election, the foundation stone of democracy. Okay, why? See here, we are very proud that we have democracy. Okay, you might not know exactly how happy we are with democracy because you never saw beyond democracy. You go and ask people of Pakistan, do you like democracy? They say yes, we love democracy, because they know how they were during the time of dictator. You might have learnt in your earlier classes, Pakistan for some time, for at least 8-9 years, was under the control of a dictator, military dictator by name Pervez Musharraf. And even now, if you talk about North Korea, that is also in a way in the hands of a dictator. Okay, in a way in the hands of a dictator. If you ask and if you talk to people who are not under exact democracy or who have already seen the other forms of government except democracy, they will say you what is democracy is all about. We might not understand the value and might not understand the spirit behind democracy. But for any other person, if anybody comes to you and asks you, hey, you have democracy in your country, can you please show where is democracy in your country? How will you show them? Will you show them your 10th class textbook and show, see, democracy here is in our textbook and we have democracy? No, that is not the way you show democracy. Then how will you show democracy? You will show them in India those institutions which are independent, autonomous, constitutional. Okay, you take that person to Parliament of India and you say all our elected representatives are sitting here. We are electing them in a process called as election and they are sitting here. This is the embodiment of our democracy. You take that person to Supreme Court of India and you say our judiciary is independent, that is not influenced by anything. Legislature and executive cannot influence judiciary, that is all independent. So, independent judiciary is also hallmark and embodiment of our democracy. Okay, independent judiciary. If you want, if he still wants any clarity, you also take him to any other constitutional institutions. You take him to Election Commission, you take him to Union Public Service Commission, or you take him to free media. Okay, free media. Media is not curtailed in India, right? We have free media rights. People are open to write whatever is there, not derogatory. Whatever is there in the society that can be easily written. You have your fundamental right to practice whatever profession you like. You have fundamental rights. So, you talk about all these things and you say that you are living in a democracy. Okay. And one such important embodiment, hallmark of Indian democracy is the entire election system happening in India. Elections are happening in India because we are a democratic country. Okay. You do not find elections happening in Pakistan during the time of Parvez Musharraf. Of course, elections were held, but everything was under the control of the military leader. You do not find elections conducted free and fairly in other parts of the world where there is no democracy. Okay. That is what we have to take the spirit from the democracy. We will learn one such important embodiment of democracy, that is election system. So, first of all, you have to be very proud that India is a democratic country and we have democracy in this form. That is, we have right to vote. Because we have right to vote, you imagine the situation of India before independence. Only 10% Indians had right to vote, only 10% Indians. Before that, there was no voting system, there was no election system only. So, slowly, gradually, we came to a situation where India is a free country and we have started conducting our own elections and we have started electing our own people. Okay. This is the present situation. So, the foundation stone of democracy, we know that India is a constitutional democracy with a parliamentary system of government, and at the heart of the system is a commitment to hold regular, free and fair elections. Okay. First of all, we are a democracy and our government is parliamentary system of government. Parliamentary system of government. American government is presidential system of government. Okay. Presidential system of government, American government. So, here in India it is a parliamentary system of government where in parliament you have both the houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, members of Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people. Members of Rajya Sabha are elected indirectly by the representatives of the people who are sitting in the state legislative assemblies. Okay. That is whatever election is there, direct or indirect, elections are there. Okay. So, ours is democratic country and we have a parliamentary setup completely, and heart of all these things is what? Is elections and the commitment to conduct elections, free and fair regular elections, free and fair regular elections. Okay. So, these elections determine the composition of the government, the membership of the two houses of the parliament, the state and the union territory, legislative assemblies and the presidency and vice presidency. So, everything or everybody, any public functionary, any legislature, any executive in this country is all elected by the people of India, directly or indirectly. No one is a ceremonial head, No one has got power through inheritance, through his fathers, grandfathers, or directly descended from some other country and started taking over the power of India. Nothing is there like that. If you want to lead this country, or if you want to lead any constituency, or if you want to have power in your hand, only one thing is there, just to go and fight the election. If people vote you, you will become a member of any of the legislatures, either central legislature, parliament, or the state legislature. Okay, that is what is there. Because you see here, members of state assemblies, members of central assemblies, that is members of parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, members of state assemblies, members of council in the states, vice president, president, so many people are all elected. Of course, governor is a position who is appointed by the President of India. He is not elected by anybody. So, president elections, vice president elections, everything happens in India. Okay. So, the mainstay of a democratic society, election helps to solve the problem of succession in leadership and thus contributes to the continuation of democracy. Okay. So, one political party came to power. For example, in 2014, one political party came to power. And we know that any political party coming to power will stand in rule, or they will rule this country or the concerned state for 5 years. And until 2019, this party or this political party which has got majority, that will rule for 5 years. Then what next after 5 years? After 5 years, by the time the term of this party comes to an end, there will be election once again. There will be election once again. So, once again election is conducted again in 2024, again by the time the party and its term comes to an end. Okay, the party's term comes to an end, and again elections will be conducted in 2024, and again in 2029 elections will be conducted. So, what is happening here? The problem of succession. Succession means if one political party is leading this country, definitely there will be a problem. After 5 years, who will lead this country? That problem is solved by free, fair, regular, transparent elections. Free, fair, regular, transparent election every 5 years. Whatever happens, wherever anything is happening, election will invariably come into picture. Okay, anybody is ruling anywhere in this country, chief minister or prime minister, anybody, no matter how influential they might be, definitely after 5 years election has to be conducted. And this election which is there, it is basically solving the problem of succession. Okay. Previously, some years before the entry of Europeans into India, we all were under the hands of our ancestors were under the hands of Mughal Empire, the Delhi Sultanate, the Islamic kingdoms were there in India. When such kingdoms were there, today one king or emperor is ruling one part of the territory in one part of India. After the death of this king, who will next come onto the throne was a debatable thing, was a highly controversial thing. Nobody knows, and there will be war of succession between all the descendants, all the sons or all the nephews, all the concerned relatives of the king, and all they will fight among themselves. There will be a huge war, and all of them will die. One will stay alive, and this person who emerges ultimately victorious, he will sit on the throne. Do we have such problem right now? Do we have to go through any war of succession right now? Only succession example is election. Every 5 years you fight election, you get the support of people, come back and you can sit in the power. Okay. That is the basic responsibility of election. So, election is the reason behind the continuation of our democracy. Our democracy is continuing without any stop because of election system. Okay. And this is the basic process of election in India. Basic process of election, and you see here, first of all there will be announcement of election. Okay. The election commission will notify the dates. They will say so and so date we are going to conduct election in the center or in the state or in the local elections, wherever election is happening in India, that is all monitored by Election Commission of India. First of all, they will announce, they will notify the election. First of all is announcement. Okay. Next is nomination. Anybody who is eligible, who is fulfilling the eligibility criteria, they can go and file their nomination. We are going to fight this election from so and so party, from party A, from party B. If no party is giving us ticket, we are participating, we are fighting election, contesting election independently. Whatever, you have got your fundamental right to participate or to contest election, to vote in the election, everything as a citizen of this country you will enjoy. If you want tomorrow, if you attain the minimum age limit, you also can go and fight, contest the election. Nobody will stop you. Okay. So, first of all notification, second is nomination. Okay. After that scrutiny of nomination. Okay. The election commission, they will scrutinize the nominations, who is eligible and all the other related things, they will check everything. Before finally giving them approval, they will check each and every controversial things. Okay, scrutiny of nomination, and the candidates will be given chance once again. If they want to withdraw from the election, they can withdraw. For that also there will be a particular date. Before that date, if the candidate wants to withdraw from the election, he can withdraw from the election. Withdrawal of candidates. Next, campaigning. Okay, election date is announced, the campaigning starts. Our ears and our mind will be completely blocked for next 1 week or 10 days. Okay, everybody will be encircling your houses, your colonies. They will be campaigning day and night, vote for us, vote for us, we will do that, we will do this, we are going to bring that to you, our leader, our party is that, our party is this. So many things they will campaign, right? So, all this campaigning, they will hit us brain and ears for at least 1 week or 10 days of time. After that, campaigning comes to an end. Campaigning comes to an end few hours before the election, that is 1 or 2 days before the election. There will be official notification again, please stop your campaigning. So, all the concerned party symbols, party banners, election propaganda material, everything will be completely removed on the roads. Everywhere it will be all clean, and the day of election starts. Okay, morning 7 a.m. it starts. Morning 7 a.m. people start coming to the election booth and they start contesting their vote, and by evening 5 p.m. how many people have voted in that constituency, based on that they will release a percentage. So, we have totally in our area for example, we have totally 100 people are there. Example I am saying, not 100, there will not be 100 people constituency, but 100 people are there in our area, only 40 people voted in our area. That means they will say after the end of the voting for that day, they will finally release the percentage and they will say only 40% election happened in our constituency. That means only 40% people came to the election booth to cast their vote. Okay. This is polling, and after polling the election commission will again announce particular date for counting, and one date is announced for counting. On this day, counting results will be announced. The winners will enjoy, the losers will, you know what will happen to the losers. Okay. This is what the basic election process. And if you see here, this is electorate information until now, and this is all contesting candidates information. The nomination phase, the scrutiny, the withdrawal, the campaigning. Here in these phases, you will understand in your constituency who is contesting the election. Until now you do not know who is contesting election, who is your leader, you do not know. Okay, from different political parties, around 5 to 10 people, all of them will have their independent agenda, all of them will come and they will start hitting your doors saying that this is our pamphlet, you please take this, you please give your valuable vote to us, because we will do so and so things for your constituency. For our constituency, there are so many problems, we will try to bring a change on change related to drinking water problem, change related to roads, change related to sanitation, change related to hospitals, schools and education, power and electricity. So many problems are there. If I go and list on these problems, your class will end. Okay, we will not finish the problems. So each and every candidate, they will have some list of problems in their hand, and they will bring the same list of problems with to the doorstep of each and every voter of that constituency, and they will start asking for votes. This is the basic campaigning style, right? So in this time, from nomination phase to campaigning, after the last day of campaigning, you will understand who is contesting from which political party in your constituency. So when you go to election booth, there you will understand to whom you have to vote. It is just like examination is there. Before examination, you are preparing, but here the irony is you are not preparing, somebody is preparing, and you have to watch that somebody, and then examination starts for them, not for you. You are examiner, they are writing examination, right? That is what is happening. This is entire election process. Who is writing examination? The contesting candidates are writing examination. So how many of them will pass? So no matter how many of them will pass, but ultimately one person will enjoy the day of this counting. Results are out. Okay, that is the basic election process in India. Okay, and if you see here, this entire election machinery is in the hands of Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body, and if you have any doubt whether it is a constitutional body or not, you can just refer article number 324 of Indian Constitution. Okay, we have Indian Constitution, article number 1 to 395. Of course, right now we have more than clauses and subclauses of 395, and until 395 you have more than 460 articles. That is a different thing, but the real number is from 1 to 395 articles. In this 1 to 395 articles, if you refer the election or if you refer the Constitution of India, you will see article 324 is exclusively dedicated to Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India. Okay, so we can say this is a constitutional body. Constitutional body means that is independent, autonomous, nobody can influence that body. They are elected directly by the President of India, by the President of India. They are not influenced by any political party in India. Okay, so they are an independent body, which is why that is called as the symbol of India's democracy. Okay. So Constitution of India in Article 325 provides for a election commission, commissioner and other election commissioners who are appointed by the President of India. The Chief Election Commissioner functions as the chairperson of the commission. You have election commissioner and along with him two election, you have Chief Election Commissioner and along with him you have two election commissioners. Okay, who is the present Chief Election Commissioner of India? Okay, Mr. Sunil Arora. Okay, Mr. Sunil Arora. Okay, Mr. Sunil Arora is the present Chief Election Commissioner of India. Along with him, he has two election commissioners. This is all election commission entirely. Okay, the higher criteria, higher range of election commission, higher level of the official setup entirely. From there the entire election commission is descending, and entire election commission will be working under the direction of the election commission headed by the election commissioner, Chief Election Commissioner Mr. Sunil Arora. Okay, the Chief Election Commissioner functions as the chairperson of the commission. So this entire election commission is headed by the Chief Election Commissioner. Okay. So Article 325, Article 324 is over. Now Article 325 provides for creation of a single election roll for entire country. There is an election commission of India at national level and state election commissions at state level to administer the electoral process in India. Okay, according to Article 325, there will be a single electoral roll for the entire country. Entire country. That means if your name is listed in the electoral roll, you are there throughout India. Your list is there in entire Indian electoral roll. Okay, your name is there in the list of the entire electoral roll of India according to Article 325. So Article 325 also says that we have election commissioner at the center, and we have state election commissioners also. To each and every state you have independent state election commissioners. All of them will be reporting to Chief Election Commissioner of India. Okay. So, the Election Commission of India is an autonomous constitutionally established federal authority responsible for administering all the electoral process in the Republic of India. Under the supervision of the Commission, free and fair elections have been held in India at regular intervals as per the principles enshrined in the Constitution. That is all what we know already. Okay. So, Election Commission of India is an autonomous constitutionally established federal authority. First thing, as I told you, this is constitutionally established. This is autonomous, federally appointed by the center, that is appointed by the President of India. Okay. As per the article number 324, and they are responsible to conduct regular elections throughout India. Throughout India, any part of the country, any corner of the country, if you are seeing election is happening, that is completely managed, monitored and conducted by the Election Commission of India, which is an independent constitutional body. Okay, independent constitutional body which is working for Republic of India, which is working for process in the Republic of India. Okay. Do you know what is this Republic of India? Republic means our head of the state is not a ceremonial head like United Kingdom, where Madam Queen is sitting for generations together. No, our head of the state is elected by the people of India, directly or indirectly. We have a component called as election. So, our head of the state is elected. Head of the state is elected wherever, whichever country the head of the state is elected, that country is called as Republic country. Our President of India is indirectly elected by the people of India. Okay, right? So, we are Republic of India. Republic of India. In Republic of India, we have this Election Commission, which is an important symbol of Indian democracy. Democracy is there, Republic is also there. All the terms which are found in our preamble, everything is coming here. Socialist, secular, democratic, sovereign republic. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Okay, this all we will see. The Election Commission has the power of superintendence, direction and control of all the election to the Parliament of India, the state legislature and the elections to the office of President of India and the Vice President of India. So, as I told you, anywhere in India elections are conducted, either it might be the President of India, the Vice President of India, to the Parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, to the state election, to the state legislature, MLAs, MLs, everywhere any election is conducted in India, everything comes under the purview of what? Purview of Election Commission of India. Okay. Just remember, election in India completely in the hands of Election Commission of India, right? That is what. Elections are conducted according to the constitutional provisions supplemented by laws made by the Parliament. The major laws are Representation of the People's Act 1950. Remember this. Representation of the People's Act 1950, which mainly deals with the preparation and revision of electoral rolls. The Representation of People Act of 1951, which deals in detail with all aspects of conduct of elections and post-election disputes. Understand? So, as I told you, Election Commission is conducting this election subjected to the laws of this country. Laws of this country. Laws means what? Representation of the People Act of 1950, Representation of the People Act of 1951. Based on this act, the entire list of eligible voters, the electoral rolls and the entire conducting of the elections, and after elections the result, and after that any disputes arising in this election process, everything is dealt according to certain rules and regulations, also called as according to certain laws in this country. According to certain laws in this country, these laws are in front of you. Representation of People Act 1950, Representation of the People Act 1951. So, what are the things you have learnt until now? I will say, don't worry, don't get confused. Election Commission, article number 324, okay, and article number 325. These are the two important things which you have to write in examination. Number 1. Number 2, Chief Election Commissioner, and in addition to that, he has 2 more election commissioners, Chief Election Commissioner and 2 election commissioners. entirely forms the Election Commission of India. Number 2. Number 3, it is an independent constitutional body appointed by the federal authority, that is the central authority, President of India. Number 3. Okay. Entire election process throughout the country is monitored by Election Commission of India. Right from President, Vice President, the members of the Parliament, members of the state legislature, everything conducted by the Election Commission of India. Number 5. Number 6, after this, what you have to write is, all this entire election machinery is held and it is all controlled and it is all run according to the laws of the land. Laws of this land means laws of this country. 2 laws are important. What is that? Representation of People's Act 1950 and Representation of People's Act 1951. If you can remember these many points, that is enough for your answer. Okay. Just remember these points, that is enough for your answer. Okay. The Supreme Court of India has held that where the enacted laws are silent or make it insufficient provision to deal with a given situation in the conduct of elections, the Election Commission has the residuary powers under the Constitution to the act in the appropriate manner. Okay. See, what does that mean? As I told you, what is important until now, I will say Chief Election or Election Commissioner, article number 324 and article number 325. What is that? Representation of People Act, ROPA, not RUPA, ROPA. Representation of People Act 1950 and Representation of People Act 1951. Every election in India conducted, whatever is happening in India regarding election, that is all subjected to these laws. Okay. These are the laws. Okay. These are the laws. And any election disputes are dealt according to these laws. And in case when dealing with any of the problems or disputes in conducting this election, any problem, because such a vast country, so many problems might be there during the process of election. So, any such important decision will be taken by the Election Commission. So, Election Commission also has certain residuary powers related to the disputes arising out of the elections happening in India. Okay. Who has the power? Election Commission has the power. Okay. Now, who is appointing these election commissioners and election commission? This is all President of India. You have to remember this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can remember this, that's enough. For Lok Sabha election, the country is divided into 543 constituencies chosen by direct election. President can nominate 2 members from the Anglo-Indian community. Each constituency has roughly equal population living within it, and the member elected from each constituency is called as Member of Parliament or MP. First of all, as I told you, Parliament, we will talk about elections to the Parliament. Parliament, you have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lower house is Lok Sabha, upper house is Rajya Sabha. And lower house Lok Sabha elections are conducted for every 5 years, and people who is winning the election, anybody who is winning the election in Lok Sabha, they will be given a position called as members of the Parliament. MP or members of the Parliament of Lok Sabha. Parliament means Rajya Sabha is there, Rajya Sabha MPs are also there, but don't get confused. Lok Sabha MPs, Lok Sabha members of the Parliament are elected by the people of this country by direct election. Okay. So, entire members of the Lok Sabha, 543 members of the Lok Sabha are from 543 constituencies in India, and you will see elections conducted in 543 constituencies of India. Of course, 2 members are nominated by the President of India from the Anglo-Indian community, that is a different thing, but we will see elections conducting for 543 constituencies of India, and in these 543 constituencies, whoever is winning, they will go and sit where? In Lok Sabha as members of Parliament. Okay. Each state is subdivided into assembly constituencies. The elected representatives are called member of Legislative Assembly or MLA. Okay. That is Parliament for entire country. In the same way, each and every state is again divided into the constituencies within the state. Okay. Every state is divided into assembly constituencies. Okay. Assembly constituency. This is parliamentary constituency. Okay. This is parliamentary constituency and this is assembly constituency. For example, in Telangana, I am just saying, for example, in Telangana, that you have around 119 assembly constituencies. You have 119 assembly constituencies. In this 119 assembly constituencies, elections are conducted. Elections are conducted, and anybody who is winning this election, they will be called as MLA, Member of Legislative Assembly, and here Member of Parliament. So, members of Parliament, they will elect one among them from the majority political party, one among them as the Prime Minister of this country. Members of Legislative Assembly, you have so many parties, whichever party has got majority of members winning election from their party, this party will nominate their chief minister candidate, or we can say this majority MLAs, they will nominate their chief minister. Okay. They will select their chief minister. Okay. They will select their chief minister. Here they will select their prime minister. That is parliament, and this is state legislature. Whatever is happening, everything is happening because of Election Commission of India. They are conducting election and the results are out, and all the post result drama is going on. Who will become prime minister, who will become chief minister, all these things are going on, right. So, each village or town is subdivided into wards. This is the local election. In the same way, each village or town, that is also subdivided into wards. For example, this is the entire town. This is divided into wards. Okay. Okay. And each and every ward you have election. Each and every ward will be headed by a ward member. Okay. Each and every ward is headed by a ward member. In villages, you will have sarpanch as the head of the village. Okay. And here in the towns, you will have corporators, and they are electing their commissioner as the head of that constituency, head of that entire municipal setup. Okay. Thus, each parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies, within which are several wards. Okay. Several wards. This is important. So, each parliamentary constituency, you see here, for example, this is parliamentary constituency. This is parliamentary constituency. In this parliamentary constituency, you will have the assembly constituency. This is entirely the parliamentary constituency, member of the parliament. Here you will have assembly constituency, and in this assembly constituencies also you have so many wards. Okay. You have so many wards. See here, local constituency, assembly constituency, and parliamentary constituency. For every constituency, for every small election, who is responsible? Election Commission of India is responsible. Thus, every parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies, within which are several wards. Okay, several wards. Okay, that is what is important. Some constituencies are reserved for people who come from scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. This applies to other backward classes or OBC as well. Today, out of 543 seats in India, Parliament 84% are reserved for SCs, that is Dalits, and 47, that is 8.66% for 18% reserved for Dalits and 8.66% reserved for scheduled tribes, and in Parliament 33% reservation bill for women is still pending. Understand? That is the entire story. Not entire story, story begins right now. See here. And 543 constituencies for Parliament we have talked until now. And this 543 constituencies are also divided based on the reservation criteria. SC constituencies are there where scheduled caste, that is Dalit members, will be given ticket. Okay, they will be contesting election and they will take the seat wherever SC constituency is there. It is all decided based on the population of that constituency. And you have constituencies which are reserved for scheduled tribes also, STs. SCs are there, STs are there, certain constituencies are reserved for backward classes, it is there. There is a proposal to reserve constituencies for women as well, that is 33% reservation for women in the parliament. Local body elections anyhow 33% is implemented, but people are asking for 33% reservation for women throughout India, that is assembly or parliament election. The bill is still hanging in the parliament. If they pass this bill, finally this becomes an act and this will be implemented, but our parliamentarians, they are not passing this bill. If this bill is not passed, the dream of 33% of reservation for women will never be fulfilled. So, in the next session we will see what are the dreams further in this election process entirely. Okay. See you in the next session. Until then, you please keep taking support of classroomtv.in. Bye bye.